everybody, and welcome to another episode of VisMin Speaks, where we listen to perspectives and stories of different people across Visayas and Mindanao. My name is Jessie Cortez, and I'm happy to be your host. Now, oh my goodness, pretty na dyan natong dugaya wala nakita. It has really been quite a while since our last episode, and a lot has transpired. Daghan kay sa mga nahitabo, daghan kay sa tanan ang ato ang na-encounter ng mga either problema baron, obstacles, or even opportunities, di ba? Sa kadugay na nato ang nakita. However, I hope wherever you are right now and whatever you're doing, you're safe and on your feet. Now, for this episode, we have digitally acclaimed Cebuano chef and advocate, Chef Tatung. And today, we will delve into his Bisaya roots, his national and international patronage, and his advocacies. All right, so please help me welcome our guest for this episode, Chef Tatung. Hi, Chef.
Hello, may adlaw ni mo diha, Chas.
May adlaw po ni mo diha, Chef. Dugay na kayo nagkita, no?
Ikulbaan na bagyog ko sa imong interview kay
Ano man?
Shy ra ba ko kayo?
Char kay ka, Chef. Anaon ti karon. Binuang kay shy ni mo. Ito, Chef. Shy ba oy kana karon kay wala man ta nagkakuyo karon, Chef, kay namo ka sa Manila karon. Diha naka-base no, Chef, no? Mustang life diha, Chef?
Okay naman, busy. Hibaw bitaw ka diri sa Manila, kinahanglan mo kuan gyud, mo kayod gyud og maayo para mabuhi, makapalit tag bugas, makakaon ta katulos sa kaadlaw.
Grabe kay baka dog storya si Chef. Ano mga recent happenings diha, Chef? Na kanang interesting.
Actually, here sa Manila, it's pretty much back to normal, no? So, busy, traffic, balik na ang mga usual stuff. People are beginning to go out again. A lot of businesses are recovering. So, I think hopefully wala na kuan gani na mubalik pa ni atong pandemic na tuloy-tuloy niya yung recovery. Pero what we were hoping yun is dili lang mubalik sa old ways, but there would have been like changes that would make life better, no, based on the experience sa pandemic. Pero it seems like normal na sa kayo, no, kanang ang precaution sa tao, ang sensitivity sa tao sa what's going on around, parang nibalik na siya, parang nag-post-pandemic na wa mo aging pandemic ang batasan sa kadaghanan.
Kanang murag kulba usahay mo gawasa kay murag agoy nasubraan naman tagkabalik ani ay wa pa biya na human.
Grabe na kay ka confident.
May kuha ni kay Chef kay diba ang tagal talaga ng what you call this yung mga lockdowns ko, no? So they really are, oh my gosh, finally now I can go out na parang like I don't care anymore, I can't be locked in my house anymore. Pero hopefully everybody would still think ba na we have to be responsible whenever we go out, Chef, diba? Pero Chef, this episode, Chef, is of course we want to get to know the man, the you. Diba, Chef? Ikaw ang spotlight na, Chef, ha? Kana straight about nimo kay kibaw man mi nga you're kind of shy. Kind of shy now. Di ba? Basin magkuha tani, Chef, ha, ang ending ani kay silent type ka, ang ending ani mag sign language ta. Di sa siguro, no?
Correct. Yun na siya.
Ito, Chef, di kay ganina nang utana ko nimo. I ask you, like what are the special occasions there, anything, like anything interesting that's been happening in Manila, because like people have this perception that once you're a chef, like you are in charge of all types of cooking whenever there's a very special occasion in the family. Diba? That's the perception talaga. So we'd like to ask you this, Chef, if there are like intimate gatherings within the family lang, within the family, what dishes do you usually prepare? Like go-to dishes for your family for special or intimate occasions? Ganon.
Kami manggod, like sa ako manggod, layo magyug ko sa family kay wala man sindi sa Manila, halos ako raman ug ako mga pagmangkon. So ako what I try to do on special occasions, especially na lahi ra gyud atong life diya sa Cebu growing up, no, panahon pa na medyo very different from Cebu as it is today. Ako, I make it a point mong yun to like introduce dishes na I grew up with. Parang just to share the memory, to share the story of, the family and all that. Kung magluto yung kog mga kuan, mga mga bami, nag-ana ka ng balbakwa, ana og night time kay dugay ra ba kay na siya pakuan ang kanang pochero nato diha nga style, di ba? So ako kay sa amo mong balay kay obviously in the line of work, um you get to eat fancy a lot of times. So pag abot nimo sa balay, mangita ra man jud kag usay inununan, no? Kanang
Kalami anak. Uy.
adobo na Bisaya na pinauga, and
Oo.
like for the entire week last week kanang abot og naunsa ko nga nagsiram ko og mais kanang bugas humaygan
Oo.
nga mais. So, maoras sa akong
Nagmunggos
isukan.
po ka, chef. Nagmunggos
Munggos
ka
nga
to.
na tuno. No, munggos
Ah,
nga tuno. A lot
uy,
of people
ko.
here find siya, ha? Bakit may gata yung munggo mo? Paki mo, di ba? Pero a lot of people seem to like it, di ba? Ang humba, di
Mm.
mo mawa sa tua. So, very, very parang usual na mga na foods. O tan Bisaya, di ba? Parang kuan kay siya,
Mm.
sobra kay kasimple, sobra kay kakuan. Pero, ibaw ka, kanang di man gud nimo ma-separate ang imong pagka-tao sa imong profession, no? So even if you do quite parang fancy stuff,
Mm.
pag ulit mo sa balay when you're alone with yourself, di ba? And you can be yourself. You really gravitate to dishes that are parang sinasabi, giingon nilang comfort food. So, para sa ako, simple lang yung kayo mga on sa balay.
Yeah, murag back to the roots, yung anak bale.
Yeah, back to the
No?
roots. Oo.
Oh my gosh, kiba ka nagkanang exterior ka sa mga dishes, mga kanang mga all-time favorites sa mga Bisaya. Gutom naman nung ko chef oy, giya mo chef oy.
Lagi ayun sa amo na lang yun.
So,
Yeah.
but you did mention that, like even if you're a chef, you may do like fancy dishes, pero you always go back to what you loved eating while growing up, diba? So like speaking of while growing up, chef, and of course you as a chef, or maybe your interest in food, at what particular age did it actually occur to you na, uy, hilig man di ko magluto, ganahan mo di ko pagkaon, like maybe usa pila
Ako
edad na to?
manggod, since bata ko, number one, hilig yun ko mukaon. Bata ako, hilig yun ko
Ah,
mukaon. Pero kanang pagluto, bata pa ko, sobrang akong fascinated. Dili lang sa pagkaon, pero the way things were made, no? Kanang nagyo ko kanang natural curiosity ba. So nagdako ko nagyo ko pirmi sa kuan sa kusina, no? Magtabang-tabang di ba? Pagkuan gud pagkuan og kanang kamunggay gani, no? Si pagkuan ng kamunggay, di ba? Yung mga di ba
hampat
yung
og kamunggay.
atong, di ba? Di ba mga di ba?
Ah,
All these start off with the small stuff then unya magpalungagong na ka o magluto og mais, magbuyo kag mais. Yung mga simple stuff, you're not doing entire recipes, but you're doing elements of a recipes. Then at the end, kay involved ka sa proseso, parang malingaw ka ba? Hala, apil man ko ana. Ako may nagkuhan ana. Di ba, igana man ng bata, no? So, it really started that way, no? So, naming mga silingan, uy, tuduy ko magluto og puto, magluto og ano ba kanang natural yung kaayo akong interest sa cooking, and I realize right now, di ba, in this generation na taas sa kaayo og food food culture na to atong awareness daghang kay mga bata na chef na heirloom. Ako perspective nga usahay magud kanang when they talk of food parang kuha na kay parang specimen na kay dating gani murag kanang parang na ginakaon sa amo nga sobra na kay sila romanticize ba na in the time of the grandparents ano grabe so
oo.
ano puro mo nagwas amo so taas na kayo mong istorya di ba
Simple naman
so
good inyong
puro
flowery diha. Uy.
na daghan kay istorya napay mga kuan mga footnote aning mga kuan mga giatay di ba pero puro kanon na mo sa amo di ba Di ba?
Kaya
Hasta mo ana
napagaypuruhan, chef, no? Sayop dahil ang gibuhat, di ba? Kanabi to.
sayop.
Oh.
Kuan magod ka lang. I think we're in the crossroad of generations na, people who who actually cook the dishes to be part of, their daily lives. Man ato mga grandparents, mao gini kinabuhi, mao mo inaluto,
Mm.
mao mo ginaapod, di ba?
Mm-mm.
Then later on, di ba na priority of educating our children to find jobs in the corporate world. So, di ay na pagluto-luto kay ato kapag pag-eskwela. So, there's that detachment to the kitchen. And
Mm-mm.
you've eaten this food, but you've never cooked it before, di ba? And
There's a disconnect, no?
generation food, karon na sa kadungog kay nag-internet man. Di ba?
Uy? Oo.
Nag-Google mo siya, ay, mo ni kinaon saon. They will try to replicate based on recipes sa, di ba, sa internet. So, there's that disconnect from, you
Mm-mm.
know, the cuisine that was really enjoyed by a generation to a generation that tries to reconnect and recreate these dishes based on information available to them at this point. And
Mm.
kung tanaw nimo, di na ba yun academic, di na ba na written yung mga recipes kay, di ba, it's a living, cooking sa a living culture. Kasi magsuwat og recipe sa utan Bisaya og pila na ka dahon sa kamunggay ibutang, di ba?
Chef
So
Tatung, naa ba jud ka ng recipe how to cook utan Bisaya?
there are, yes, there are.
Na,
Pero
okay.
alam mo, pero it's a
It's
just
their
like
own
that.
take, di ba, of the dish?
It's your own take because
Yes.
the cuisine really is a reaction to what is available to you, di ba? It's
Mm.
seasonal. Kung mauni na, amo ay mong lutuon, di ba? Mag-inarte di ka, di ba? Ugay kamote, mamugos gid kag kamote, wa mo ka, oy pa-import, di ba? Di ba?
Dapat na kamote.
Di ba?
May gabi, ana, oh.
Pag-grab ra gud og gabi kay kuwang di ba? Wala may di ba?
Oo.
So the cuisine was really very rooted in what was available. Mamo na ang utan
Mm.
Bisaya are vegetables that grows in your backyard. Di
Mm.
ba?
As
Di ba?
simple of a
Alugbati,
concept as
malunggay.
that, no?
As simple as that. Unsay na mo na imong lutuon. Unlike now, because diba, may people who trade, there are a lot of middlemen. So, maski na ka diri sa Cebu, gusto ko mukaog bugas mais, makapalit ko. Ato lang ko Facebook Marketplace, makapalit ko. Diba? Gusto kong tableya gikag Cebu, ato ko sa Marketplace, na inamaligya diri. Chorizo
Mm.
Bisaya, na siya. So, in a way, though you don't live there, you still have the access to these ingredients. So, it's already like parang second hand or third hand na parang if I introduce these dishes to di ba, my nephews and all that, ilang experience na dili based sa one, I'm trying to recreate that experience for them in a more controlled environment na, di ba, parang from the
Right.
outside look, mo din pero kiwa ka ang perspective ang good nila sa ato, it was the food we ate. Now
Mm.
it seems like parang, di ba, exhibit A. Di ba, parang di ba? You're seeing
Right.
the food from outside. Ang normal, what they see as food now are pizza, hamburgers, di ba? Fries and all that. So,
Mm.
that is normal food to there. So, muhatag kag dinig na, unsa man na, what's that? Di ba?
Mm-mm. So
Di ba?
chef, sa the way you're seeing how like ang kana mga bag-ong tubo nga mga chef ba, how they're trained, how they get their information, and how they even create certain dishes. Do you think chef nga kanang murag, murag, can we just stop for a moment and okay, murag, there's something wrong with how we teach these new kids, like these kids nowadays? Can you say that?
I think is that it is not wrong in a sense. It is just different. Ang challenge lang good sad sa ato is that we don't have a study into indigenous cooking with even in culinary schools. Wala gyud tay libro na that serves as like a Bible or let's say a guidebook na accepted na mao ni siya kuan mao ni siya cuisine, no? And that's also because of the nature of our cuisine. If you look at Cebuano cuisine opposed to other regional cuisines, naagyo na yung mga regional na
Mm.
linguistic differences, di ba? Like I was
Yes.
speaking of the the binignit sa atua. Binignit sa atua, kuan man na siya. Murag merienda or actually
Hapon.
ang concept, di ba? Di ba? Pero if you go to Negros, ang binignit sa ilaha, mao na atong gitawag na duldog diha sa atua, which is the kalabasa na ginataan nga nailuya nga sudan.
Lahi ang binignit nila.
Yeah. So the challenge really is when you study cuisine, di lang mismo yung recipe or the formulation or the ingredient. It's also to para acknowledge the linguistic differences between the regions para makasinabot sa tausa nga what are we talking about. Kay mag-away-away ra ba ning mga atis, pero in fairness kita mga Cebuano, dili man kita hambog sa atong pagkaon kanang ako personally lami gid ang Cebuano food pero we're not like gung-ho and facing everything. Ay, culinary captain. Amo pagkaon pinakalami na. Wala kay tay ana nga hang up ba. Ato mukaon taglami. Sa lami mo ra ginaato.
Sa lami.
Wala na tay kanang wa kay tay kanang hilas-halas ba. Dili kay ta sa ana gani. So if you go around the country, there are some regions na who would fight tooth and nail to just to say that their cuisine is much better than the
especially
others.
If it's called the same thing, di ba? Nga murag
or mas lamang version.
Yes, exactly. Kaya na ato na ko kanang adobo bitaw kanang chicken adobo kana nga mas lami ang kaninga region mas ana pero actually no one knows unsa ba gid pagluto aning chicken adobo gid ay.
Yeah.
Diba kay we have different versions.
It's very interesting. It's very interesting yun kaayo kung imo yun ang studyuhan ang Philippine regional cuisine kay daghan magugay kanang nuances ba, no? And also because ang difference lang siguro sa Cebu is generally the Cebuano palate is a bit more parang open and there's a bit of sophistication for two reasons. Number one, I think because we were more like a trading economy, no? Diba? Centuries back during the so we're really open to the influences of other cuisines and naanad ta nga nailain-laing tao moabot sa atoa, di ba? Pag
right. So we were exposed to a lot of options, valid.
Mukaon tag atong pagkaon, pero nay pagkaon sa lain, okay ra pud ta mukaon kay parang
lamig man.
Siyante mo ka. We were not at war with diba with other areas or ana wala man tay ano diba. Negosyante ano diba open-minded. So ikaduha pod sa atoa kanang very communal dili kita parang into the hierarchy kay na may regions na very strong ang landlord ug saop na relationship na. Like sa atoa mo well generally sa akong nadak-an sa Cebu, madato o mapobre, you can always share a table, enjoy the same food. Di ba? Parang ana, di ba? Daghan kay dato sa Cebu na mukaon magpungko-pungko, mukaon manuka. Larsyan, mukaon way ana. No apologies, no parang kay lami, di ba? Or makikaon ka sa imong katabang, walay issue, walay ana nga hierarchical na kuan na. Pero if you go to some other regions, especially very strong ang kanang mga agriculture, di ba? Yung ana. Usually naay pagkaon na ay para sa ubos. So, for example, di ba mga old mansions during the Spanish time, di mga ilustrado and all that, naay pagkaon na hindi mo pwede ma-serve dito sa balay sa taas. Kay para yan sa mga saop sa baba.
Wala taana, di ba?
Wala taana, di ba? Ang datog, ang pobre, mukha utan Bisaya. Kay Bisaya ta. In some regions, nasa ana nga style na parang ay yang pagkain hindi yan pwede dito kasi para lang yan sa mga tuan. So it's very different no from region to region. Mo na it's very interesting. Ang Cebu kasi murag being the center, being open-minded, being parang more entrepreneurial, being more parang Like itang perspective sa pagkaon pod.
So I think siguro chef no karon like probably this is also one of the reasons why they always ask us Filipino food is so good, but how come there are no restaurants like in other countries where kanang humingon ka Italian cuisine, French cuisine, pero di gud daw ta kaingon gud og Filipino cuisine because it's not as popular. So probably the reason why is because us Filipinos, especially growing up ng mga bago karon is because there's a huge disconnect between the experiences that created the food and putting it on the table or putting it together. So you're saying nga dapat ka na, maybe we should start that now, or maybe include it in the culinary schools ba nga a very good understanding of the history and the behind each dish. Chef, do you think that'll help?
Actually, kung tanaw ka sa karong panahon na grabe na kaayo og recognition ang Filipino cuisine globally, no? There has been that sort of attention that we have been gaining in the international scene in a lot of food festivals.
Oh, there's one na nakadawat og Michelin star in the US, right?
Yeah,
La Mesa,
yeah.
Akama?
Kasama.
Kasama. Okay.
Yeah, they're the first, and I think we're headed towards that direction. No? A lot of young, mga very energetic and very dynamic chefs are really trying to push the agenda of promoting Filipino cuisine globally. Pero sa ako lang po, ang challenge yun nato is that how to be able to use Filipino cuisine as as a vehicle, as a as a way for us to help the Filipino people in terms of economics, in terms of creating business, no? Kay ang ato mo kung tanaw gud sa Filipino cuisine magud usahay gud kanang especially when we showcase. Naam gud ta sa pasikat ba nata dito sa kanang lami ang pagkaon tilawi we want to showcase, but sometimes we fail to forget na ang culture na to, ang atong culinary culture is really parang a birthright of the Filipinos, no? It's a cultural asset, it's a cultural parang asset that we can use to really drive trade, no, with other countries. Like for example, if the adobo becomes so popular globally, it's an opportunity for us to trade our toyo and suka internationally. Pero I think the challenge, because I think na kita Pinoy na magud tay pagka self-depreciating ba na sometimes we say na foreigner ako pagkanog adobo ugamit lang kog Japanese soy sauce o kaning apple cider vinegar kay para malamian sila, di ba? If you read recipes from Filipinos who cook Filipino food abroad, it generally has that type of recreation internationally, replacing, not because hindi accessible yung ingredients nato, pero sometimes there seems to be a bit of like embarrassment na ay maorni ka it's not good enough, pero to stay true to a certain cuisine, there are certain flavor profiles and nuances that are actually important in telling the Filipino the star of the Filipino palate, di ba? So umamo gining lasas among ginamos alangan mo gamit ko kanang, di ba, Italian na fermented fish or anchovies, di ba? Di ba? So I think number one is we have to probably revisit the way we manufacture, kasi karon man gud sa ato diri sa ato pabaratuhay man gyud. So when you say pabaratuhay, manufacturing practices or standards are a bit going down because mass production, di ba?
Right.
So sa to, probably it's an opportunity for us to really develop premium or expert quality products, no, rather than promoting international brands as replacement for elements in Filipino recipes. Diba ako kay opportunity ba, di ba? Look at how Cebuano furniture has captured the imagination of interior designers and celebrities globally. It's world class.
Yes.
Diba? And for Filipino food to be able to shine, it's not just the idea of selling good Filipino food. It's also having the products to sell to be able to boost our economy. Like for example, atong mga furniture designer nag-post nag-design nila para masuya ng mga foreign buyers. Pero pag gusto nila mo order siya, adto ipabuhat sa laing nasod. It will not help
What's
us,
the
di ba?
point? Exactly.
What's the point? So for me, the moral thing to do is to really promote Filipino food to be able to help the local economy. Mauro gyud ako, ug magpasikat lang tayo dito para ingnon sa mga Amerikano o kinsa badihan na, oy, the Philippine food is so delicious. Ay inyuhan na ano koy pakialam ana, di ba? Di ba?
Dito.
For example, we really have to get over our hang up of being praised by other countries for our food. Mao man yung usahay nato nga Waterloo ba, we're so hung up ba, oy, you should like it, you should like it. No, you shouldn't like. If you don't like it, I don't care, di ba? But if you like it,
Yeah.
you use our products. Di ba, just like the Japanese mo, sugot ba na sila nga Pinoy toyo ang gamiton sa ilang
No,
sa
that they
no,
specifically buy it, import it gani, di ba?
exactly. So it should be the same case for Filipino food.
Kiba ka Chef Tatung, I think kanang ingani nga klase nga conversation, it should already start bitaw because like it is when we truly appreciate what we have and who we are, that's when we actually shine as a nation. Yeah. It's just we just need to keep on talking about it and parang like para people will also realize nga bitaw sa nga ano daghan kita nindot pero ngano dili man nato ma-push forward kay tungod naatay mga we see it as an obstacle, we don't see it as an opportunity ba. Di ba, Chef? Pero Chef, balik tani mo, Chef. Well, serious na nung na itong conversation.
Lagi, oy, kaon man.
Alam nga, kay kanang, kuan ba yata, Chef, kanang, kanahan ba yata nga, kanang makaibaw mga tao nga maayo sa gitna. Pero kita dapat, nga Pinoy, dapat mo accept sa gitna nga, yes, maayo ta.
Yeah,
Right.
correct.
Something ana na lang jud. Sige lang kay nag-reset man ta tungod aning pandemic, may ta inigbalik na gid sa kanang normal na gid pa maka-realize ta, di ba? So, chef, mangutana ko nimo, chef. Ikaw, chef, kay I know nakapirmi sa kusina. Yeah. Bata pa ka o niya, you were so involved with kanang with your folks nga when preparing the meals for the house. Pero ikaw mismo nga ikaw usa nagluto. When did that actually happen? And did that when that happened, did that make you decide right then and there nga, kibaw ka, mag-chef ko. That's it. That you've set your mind.
Ako manggod, ang nagsugod ko luto siguro mga 8 years old. Ana, nagluto na gyud ko. Sunod, I remember nung elementary grade 5, grade 6, early high school, magbuat-buat man ko, magluto-luto man ko, magbaligya-baligya man ko. Kanang kuan ba, mga tita-tita na, mag-order cake, mag-order brownies, mag-order magbaligya-baligya ko. So, I really started young, pero gikan magukusa ka ng generation nga di pa manggud uso ang chef, di ba? Kanang right now the parang people are so obsessed with the idea of celebrity chefs, di ba?
Actually.
Celebrity chef. Ako, to be honest with you, parang even if people will call me that parang ako sige, parang pero mo cringe gyapon ko gamay kay
What's your reaction, chef? What's your reaction na?
Ato lang dawaton, di ba? Artistahon man ta, di ba? Pero I started at a time na wala pa mo gunang concept sa celebrity chef, di ba? Kusinero, yung ka mo na nga, when I was starting out, wala magyug ko maguna, I want to be a chef because it wasn't a career choice that would enter anyone's mind at that point. No? It wasn't a career path like people know, you should be a chef. Okay, wala pa magyug kay culinary school atong mga panahon na, di ba? So, ako, for me, I would consider myself an accidental chef, di ba? Though I've always dabbled in food since I was a kid, no? Pero yung talagang i-career na ganitong klaseng ako mo ingon gyud ko, admit gyud ko ninyo kan. Ako gina-career yun din ako ron, di ba? As in, I'm really very focused and all that. Pero at the start, hesitant yung kay ko, something, chef ko, ingano. Pero, abot ko sa good point sa akong life na I asked, what asa mo gyud ko maayo ug asa mo gyud ko malipay, asa gyud ko nga kanang parang aligned ba in terms of my skills and all that. Magluto man sa Asia.
Yeah, good.
Atong suwayan. Ano,
Oh.
yan.
Oh, of course, chef. Imo naging career ni imuhang luto-luto na kay duha ka libro good. Career na gid na.
Actually, uno, 6 na akong libro, oy.
Oh, six ka. Six ka. Ay, ang duhara ang libro na sa kong papa. Chef, kuwang iyang collection.
I've already kanang published 6 books and bestsellers and I already have parang international awards for my book. So,
Yes.
kuan. Yan.
Ibang level ng career na na.
Oh. Career na dahil pamugasay na ni Dio, pamugasay.
na yung mga libro, na yung mga bestsellers, na yung mga awards, ibang level, next level na niya kariray, yung imuhang yung kanisa.
Ila ni bugas day hasta sudan na anaday.
Di pwede mahunong chef. Kaya mo say kanon ug maay nga na nga pagka-career.